Have you ever wondered why some people build extraordinary lives while others keep struggling with the same problems year after year? The answer isn't what you think. It's not about talent. It's not about luck. It's about something so small that most people ignore it completely. This is the story of Arjun, a young carpenter who discovered a secret that changed everything. Arjun was 23 years old when he started working in his uncle's carpentry shop. He was full of dreams. He wanted to build beautiful furniture, create masterpieces with his hands, and one day own the finest workshop in town. Every morning he would arrive at the shop with excitement in his eyes. He would look at the wood, run his fingers across the tools, and imagine the incredible things he would create. But there was a problem. Arjun never finished anything. He would start working on a chair, but halfway through, he would get bored and move to a table. Then he would abandon the table to try making a cabinet. His uncle's workshop was filled with half-finished projects, scattered tools, and broken dreams. "Arjun," his uncle would say gently, "you have talent, but talent without discipline is like a river without banks. It goes nowhere." But Arjun didn't listen. He thought his uncle was old-fashioned. He believed that creativity couldn't be caged by rules and routines. Months passed, then years. While other carpenters in the town were becoming successful, Arjun remained stuck. He would wake up late, skip breakfast, rush to the workshop without any plan, and jump from one unfinished project to another. His friends started calling him tomorrow's carpenter, because he always said, "I'll finish it tomorrow." Deep inside, Arjun felt a growing emptiness. He saw younger carpenters creating beautiful pieces, while he had nothing to show for his years of work. His hands were skilled, his mind was creative, but something was missing. One evening, sitting alone in the workshop, surrounded by incomplete furniture, Arjun broke down. Tears rolled down his cheeks as he looked at his wasted potential. "What's wrong with me?" he whispered to himself. "Why can't I be like them?" He felt like a failure. He felt stuck in a loop he couldn't escape. That night, Arjun couldn't sleep. He kept thinking about his life, his dreams, and how far he had drifted from them. The next morning, something unusual happened. An old carpenter named Ratan arrived at the shop. Ratan was a legend in the town. People said he had built furniture for kings and temples, but he had retired years ago and rarely came out of his home. Arjun's uncle had invited him to visit. Ratan walked slowly through the workshop, his eyes scanning every corner. He stopped at Arjun's workbench and looked at the half-finished projects. "Young man," Ratan said softly, "may I ask you something?" Arjun nodded nervously. "Do you sharpen your tools every day?" Arjun was confused by the question. "Sharpen my tools? No, sir. I sharpen them when they become dull. Why waste time sharpening every day?" Ratan smiled, a wise and knowing smile. "Come with me tomorrow morning," he said. "I want to show you something." The next day, before sunrise, Arjun went to Ratan's small workshop. It was simple, clean, and organized. Everything had its place. Ratan was already there, sitting on a wooden stool with a chisel in his hand and a sharpening stone in front of him. "Sit," he said. Arjun sat and watched. Ratan began sharpening the chisel, slowly, carefully, with complete focus. The sound of metal against stone filled the quiet morning air. After 10 minutes, Ratan stopped and looked at Arjun. "Do you know why I sharpen my tools every single day, even when they're not dull?" Arjun shook his head. "Because," Ratan said, "a carpenter who doesn't sharpen his tools will struggle with every cut. His work will be rough, his hands will tire quickly, and slowly, without realizing it, he will start avoiding the work altogether. He paused, letting the words sink in. But a carpenter who sharpens his tools every day, his cuts are smooth, his work is effortless, and most importantly, he builds the discipline to show up, to prepare, to respect his craft. Ratan placed the chisel down gently. Arjun, you think your problem is lack of talent or lack of motivation, but your real problem is that you never sharpened your most important tool.
Yourself, Ratan said. Your mind, your habits, your daily routine. You wake up whenever you feel like it. You work without a plan. You don't prepare, and then you wonder why nothing gets finished. Those words hit Arjun like a hammer. Ratan gave Arjun a challenge. For the next 30 days, do one thing every morning before you start working. Sharpen one tool, just one. Spend 10 minutes on it, no matter how sharp it already is. Arjun agreed. The first morning felt strange. He picked up a chisel and began sharpening it, even though it didn't need it. His mind wandered. He felt impatient, but he continued. The second morning was the same, and the third, but something started changing. By the seventh day, Arjun noticed that sharpening the tool had become calming. It was like meditation. It cleared his mind. It prepared him for the day. By the 15th day, Arjun started waking up earlier, just so he could have more time for this quiet ritual. By the 30th day, Arjun had transformed. He wasn't just sharpening tools anymore, he was sharpening himself. He started planning his work the night before. He began finishing one project completely before starting another. He organized his workspace. He showed up with intention. And the results? Within 3 months, Arjun completed more furniture than he had in the previous 3 years. His work became cleaner, sharper, more beautiful. Customers started coming specifically to him. But the biggest change wasn't in his carpentry, it was in his life. Arjun went back to Ratan to thank him. Master, you didn't just teach me carpentry, you taught me how to live. Ratan smiled. The tool was always in your hand, Arjun. You just needed to learn how to sharpen it. Here's the truth that Ratan knew and that Arjun finally understood. Success is not built in one big moment. It's built in one small habit repeated every single day. Most people are waiting for a big breakthrough, a huge opportunity, or the perfect moment, but they ignore the small, simple actions that actually create greatness. Sharpening your tools, planning your day, showing up on time, finishing what you start. These things seem boring, they seem too small to matter, but they are everything. Because when you sharpen yourself every day, when you build small habits of discipline and preparation, you become unstoppable. Not because you are more talented, not because you are lucky, but because you are ready. So let me ask you this. What is the one small habit you've been ignoring? What is the tool you need to sharpen every single day? Maybe it's waking up at the same time. Maybe it's reading 10 pages before bed. Maybe it's planning your day the night before. Maybe it's practicing your skill for just 15 minutes. It doesn't matter how small it is. What matters is that you do it every single day. Because 1 year from now, you'll either be the person who kept waiting for a big change, or you'll be the person who built an extraordinary life with small, consistent actions. The choice is yours. Sharpen your tools, sharpen yourself, and watch how everything changes. If this story inspired you, give it a like. Share your thoughts in the comments below. What's the one habit you're going to start today? And subscribe for more life-changing stories that will help you become the best version of yourself. See you in the next one.